Hello, everyone. Dee Mitchell here, and I want to talk to you today about story structure. We have been diving into some realistic fiction text. And just to remind you, a realistic fiction is a fiction text is a made-up story, but the author has written in a way that makes us feel like the events could be real, the characters could be real, the settings could be real. It's a story that could really happen. And so we want to go back and revisit story structure. What are some parts of a story? And so stories often have a similar structure. We'll see the beginning, the middle, and the end. And each part of the story contains things that help us understand what is happening. For example, in the beginning of the story, this is when we will often be introduced to our characters and the problem or conflict that they will face. In the middle of the story, this is when we see our characters trying to solve the problem or the conflict. And in the end, we find that there has been a resolution to the problem. The problem has been solved by our characters. So all of the things that I just mentioned are what's called the plot of the story. And they help us to um, understand what is happening. And so, again, we're going to be looking at a realistic fiction. We're going to be looking at a story that's made up, but it could really happen because the characters behave like real people. The settings are places that are places we may go in real life. The events are things that happen to us on a daily basis. And so the author often writes realistic fictions to entertain their reader. And so we are going to revisit this realistic fiction um, called Picture Day Perfection. And we're going to be thinking about all of those things we just spoke about: the plot, the beginning, the middle, the end, the characters, the problem that they may be facing, how they're going to solve, and and in the end, what eventually happened. So, Picture Day Perfection may not be a new text for you, it may be new for some, but let's take a look here at this young man. Obviously, he's getting ready for picture day, and let's see what happens. I'd planned for months. This was going to be the year of the perfect school picture. But some days, not everything goes according to plan. The day started with the worst case of bedhead ever. Exhibit A, front view. Exhibit B, side view. Exhibit C, back view. Exhibit D, the look on my brother's face when he saw my hair. So let's stop and talk about this, boys and girls. Here we have a young man who's getting ready for picture day. It's something we've all experienced. Um, just thinking about, especially if we've had a bad picture day, we think, okay, this year is going to be better. I'm going to make sure my hair looks just right. I'm going to get enough sleep, or maybe I'm going to plan out the perfect outfit. And so he's been really anticipating this picture day. And like many things, his plans go awry. He wakes up with bed hair. And so herein lies his problem. And so as we go through the text, um, we are going to be looking for how is this character going to solve this problem? We've been introduced to him. We know what his problem is. Now we're going to be going through to the next part of the story structure. This is the middle of the text. How is he going to solve his problem? And of course, later on, we know that we'll find out how he solved his problem. How do we know these things? Because we know that this is the story structure that is very familiar to us readers when we are encountering a fiction text. This happens to be a realistic fiction, but nonetheless, it is a fiction. It is a story. And so we know that there are going to be different parts of the story that we will see as readers. And it's also important for us to remember this because it helps us to figure out what exactly is going on in the story and to follow along as the events take place. So enjoy going back through this text of Picture Day Perfection, and remember as you read on what you'll be expected to find in the plot of the story. So happy reading, boys and girls.